Welcome to this webinar with Potatoes New Zealand's Chief Executive, Kate Trufitt. In this webinar, Kate will be providing an update on insights and outcomes as we are nearly halfway through 2026. So let's welcome Kate Trufitt, Chief Executive of Potatoes New Zealand. Thank you.
Sheree, welcome to this update. I can't believe that we're nearly halfway through 2026. On today's agenda, we're going to look at crisis update. So where are we with the Middle East crisis? Some key strategic achievements, e-tipu, which I have the privilege of attending last week, and some key events coming up for growers. I just wanted to have a quick chat about crisis and what's happening and what our latest update is from MB. So at the moment, the focus has been on, for potatoes, is delivery, making sure that our growers are supported through this crisis and that we can keep moving forward with our production and with our harvest. The government has a fuel plan in place and this still remains on level 1. While quantity is not a problem, it's going to be the pricing. And this will continue to be high with a possible premium added to build in future pricing. So this is a bit of a red flag for us and something for us to keep an eye on. There's still uncertainty around how the conflict's going to evolve. And New Zealand critical goods are being monitored. And this is the fertiliser and packaging piece. At the moment, there's still confidence in supply, and there is lots of information to be found on the MB website. It is prudent for all businesses to think about how they may ration if it came to it. So something for our growers to think about. I just want to quickly show you the new strategy. This is on our website. This is your strategy that looks at how we work and our work. Feel free to take a look at it on the website and feedback, but I'm going to report against these areas now. So leadership in the field. This is a really key piece of work that we do, and it's so exciting to have the Taiwan market open now. We also have the Vietnamese market that is being trialled at the moment. We may need to do some more audit work with this, but we're waiting for our governments to really dictate what that may or may not look like. We have developed the R&D strategy, and Paul has done some fantastic work here, and we are going to present that to growers at the Agronomy Summit in August. There's been some great work done across the R&D portfolio. Updates have been given during the Veggie Roadshows, and it's been great to see those growers turn up for those updates. There's been anything from powdery scab all the way to TPP. They're now complete for this year, but we are thinking about whether we do a webinar version. Your feedback would be great on that. We have been collaborating more and more with our vegetable partners and also with FAR at their Chertsey site, which is using the SVS tool through a rotation. There's also going to be some SVS workshops. We've just been successful in obtaining funding in conjunction with Hort NZ. And so we'll be rolling out some SVS workshops in the regions. So look out for these. Really keen to get agronomy and grower involvement. I'm also pleased to announce that the SVS Tool project has been finalist in the Primary Industry Summit Awards. This is a fantastic achievement, and we really look forward to the Primary Industry Summit and see how we go in those awards. We have been developing some biosecurity tools for growers. We have a response guide, and this is now in the final stages of development and will be available for growers at the back end of this year. And really it just gives you some tools in the toolbox if we do get a response. So how things will work, how to connect with MPI and industry. We're also developing some readiness tools to strengthen industry's preparedness, so it'll work alongside those response tools. We're collaborating with Tomatoes and Tamarillos and BSI on some TPP research. What can we do to advance industry with this pest and Globeriobacter, which causes us such issues? We are also investigating a project on looking at how growers can maintain margin and understand those levers to pull when costs hike and there's more pressure. So you can see there's a huge amount going on in this space. Growing great people, one of my favourite parts of our strategy. We have been doing a lot of work to improve our visibility of potatoes as a career. We had people at the Franklin Careers Day, and I thank the Youth Council for really supporting these movements. They've been fantastic. We joined vegetables at Lincoln, and we had a vegetable stand there, which absolutely got annihilated. I must say, we had a huge amount of students. They love a bit of free food. So thank you to those growers who helped us provide that. But it meant that we could have some really good discussions with students around the opportunities across horticulture, particularly with potatoes. We also presented to the first year students, and that was a really great opportunity. We then went to Massey, where we presented to the Horticultural Society, and again, in collaboration with vegetables, showcasing how vegetables is a great career for you. We have been finalising the itinerary for our growers' learning tour of Europe. We have now whittled down to 10 plus growers and stakeholders joining us for that, and I really look forward to hosting that. The Youth Council has been doing some fabulous work. They have got QR code concepts. So this is quick digital links connecting students to career information, industry resources, and pathway documents. And that is on our website. I think I've presented previously the sticker concepts. They have been very popular. So we've had those throughout the career events that we've been going to, and they're incredibly popular with the students and parents alike, I might add. There's been some social media activity also with our Youth Council, and really fantastic to see the increase in engagement across those social media opportunities. We also have a WhatsApp communication. The South Island has started a next gen grower group, and they've got nearly 30 members who meet and talk, and they're really sort of starting to gain momentum. So there's obviously a need out there for our young people to engage and we work collaboratively across industry. Fantastic initiative. We also have the Young Grower competition. And as you're aware, it was the first time back in Canterbury last year. So this is our second year. Really would need some support for that. We have 5 young people who have put themselves forward, which is fantastic for our industry. I just wanted to quickly talk about Garden to Table. This is a charitable trust that supports kids learning about food. This is about exposing kids across New Zealand to the wonders of growing, harvesting, preparing and sharing food. I experienced this firsthand at Rolleston School, and there are fantastic people organising and volunteers that give up a huge amount of their time to really help kids understand where their food comes from and how that shared moments of eating are really very important for kids growing up. There's more than 32,000 kids across New Zealand that participate in this, and there's some life skills that are taught and then applied. So it's a fantastic opportunity. I highly recommend that you look up the website and have a look. And we're really excited to announce our support and partnership with this initiative. United Industry Voice. So across the vegetable sector, we have continued to work stream with all relevant departments. There's been a lot of activity, particularly with MPI, and I had the opportunity to catch up with Minister Gregory Tipu. She's a great Cantabrian and always supportive and remains supportive of the horticultural industry. The vegetable showcase is coming up at the end of June, and Minister Macleay is supporting that. And that gives us that continued presence in Parliament and the opportunity to get amongst government, particularly in an election year. The website has been refreshed. I highly recommend that you go and have a look at it. Cherie is still loading up documents and other things that will be of interest, but please take a look and feedback anything that you think needs a little bit of a change. You would have seen lots of social media this month. It's International Day of the Potato, and so we're doing International Month of the Potato. So lots of recipes going up, really consumer focused, but an opportunity to really get potatoes in front of our consumers. And we've had really great engagement with that. We continue to deliver these webinars, and again, please feedback any opportunity to see if this is relevant, if I need to shorten them, if you need further information. So please do feedback. We're doing a huge amount of work across the GIA, which is our opportunity to work with government and other industry partners. And the deed is being reviewed this year. So it is our opportunity to really look at how it's structured and make sure that it's fit for purpose for the future. We are doing a large amount of work also with government on importation. They're really looking at the whole importation pathway and how it works. I know there is a bit of fear amongst some of the plant groups that these changes may increase biosecurity risk. So that's something that we're monitoring as well. Working together. This is our whole industry working collaboratively, and there's some great work going on here. You would have heard me talk that we've been doing great amount of work with Veg and the new entity NZ Veg. And talking about that is that there's an opportunity for us to work with MPI and NZ Veg on an accelerator program. And this looks at how we can grow vegetables as a sector. MPI have been incredibly supportive with us, and we now have a steering group of key growers that will help us develop this. So keep an eye out for updates on that, but a fantastic piece of work. We have also developed a manifesto, and this has been across the vegetable sector rather than a whole lot of individual ones. And this showcases those needs to the government and ministers and gives us those talking points. The 5 key priority areas are resource management reform, crop protection and agrochemicals, energy certainty across food production, processing and storage, confidence to invest, so making sure that there's confidence to invest across our industry, and vegetable consumption, which we know is a concern and dropping. Paula continues to do great work with our international partners and experts on R&D projects. Paul Horn, IPM, and Callum Wilson doing some fantastic work on powdery scab. We continue to engage with partners also regarding storage and changes across industry on storage, and there will be some more activity in that space, so watch the space. There also continues to be work across the Aotearoa Horticultural Action Plan. There are updates for this on the Horticultural New Zealand website. Please feel free to jump on. There's always some great work going on in that space. And this is a collaborative project across all of industry, MPI and other stakeholders. Really key to see that we are promoting potatoes. This was something that we heard loud and clear from growers when I first started. And so we continue to tell the story of potatoes. So as Potatoes New Zealand, we're trying to make sure that we are across all forms of potatoes and that you feel that you're supported. You would have heard me already talk about International Day of Potatoes, 30th of May. The themes this year are where potatoes grow and livelihoods flourish. There are 159 countries that grow potatoes. There are 5,000 varieties of potatoes, and we have been going for 8,000 years and still going strong. So I think that's something to be celebrated. You'll see in my slides, there's a photo there of Shane Jones. He spoke at the United Fresh event, always a colourful character. But it was a great event and a great opportunity to connect with our retailers. So both Foodstuffs and Woolworths were there, along with a lot of the key markets. So a great opportunity for me to have that conversation with those retailers. 5+ a day, we're doing a soup promotion at the moment, which is vegetables and potatoes are strongly in there. So again, support those initiatives. We had the veggie roadshows, and you would have seen a scattering of photos throughout this webinar from the veggie roadshows. I already spoke about it, but you will see on the photo there some steak and some chips. That was in Awakuni, which was the final night of our R&D roadshows. Fabulous looking chips, aren't they? So we need to really support those opportunities to eat potatoes. If you miss those road shows, please make sure that you connect next year. We try and make them relevant and a good opportunity for growers to catch up on what's happening out there. Just wanted to quickly cover eTipu, really fantastic opportunity to talk to other food producers, scientists, and brand opportunities to look at how do we push potatoes as a brand. Karen Walker was our key speaker, and you may think that what's fashion got to do with food? But she had some really key nuggets on how food is progressing and how she's built her brand and connecting the two. Fantastic speaking, but also some great points that she's made. I've got a couple of points that I just wanted to make. Nicola O'Rourke spoke about what the 2050 consumer is going to look like. And some notes I've written are that food's going to be experienced through a screen. Influence the nutritionists. So it's going to be interesting. Nutrition is going to be very key. Food is seen as fuel, not a ritual. So you're not going to be sitting down for a meal. One of the ones that I really connected with me was medicine cabinet and pantry emerging. And so you can see that with that whole nutrient dense piece. Origin food sources will be blurred. So people will care more about where their food comes from, but no less. And so how do we educate our consumers? And food benefits. So, how you can really push those benefits of food and what they look like. Macros first, whole food second. Chat GPT will become the hunter-gatherer. Energy functioning food will be key, and time will be an ingredient. We already know that people are incredibly time poor, and that will continue to be an issue. There are also the fact that ancient ingredients will play a part, and they already are. So potatoes have 8,000 years. So how can we really play on that? And there will be experimental consumption, which is already happening now. And it's the new entertainment. So how do you enjoy food? And those trends will continue. It will be interesting to see how partnerships and how growers really connect with these movements. So something for us to think about. There's next generation farming as well was discussed, and understanding the signals and how growers can have the infrastructure to support the changes that are going to be needed. Data partnerships and transparency will be absolutely key. There will be some questions around capability, succession, and really having intrinsic value. So the way we farm will change. AI, satellites, and that futuristic vision. So we need to be bold, and we need to think about how change will influence our industry. Designing the food for the future, how to meet the consumer needs, understanding the whole supply chain, and preparing for the future that we want. We also have some key events coming up, and I'll just quickly run through these. The Agronomy Summit in Auckland, please come. We really, really, really want growers to be there. So please engage with that. We have our AGM and dinner where we're being joined by Canterbury Society, Hort Society, and also Processed Veg. Be a great evening, a great opportunity to network and get alongside other growers. Young Grower Competition I've already mentioned, but it's on the 25th of June in Lincoln. Please come along and support. And the parliamentary function I've already mentioned. I strongly encourage you to engage where you can. These are opportunities to learn, network, and influence the direction of our industry. Really important that your voice is heard. So thank you very much for attending this webinar. I really appreciate you listening in, and it's our opportunity to show you the work that we're doing. There is a lot happening across all of horticulture, but particularly here at Potatoes New Zealand, we are working really hard on your behalf to ensure that potatoes is front and centre and on every plate of our consumers. Thank you.